Well, hello again. Short talk in the trailer with an old guy. Hey, I just noticed a couple of things today, and I just wanted to have kind of just a chat about. I don't have anybody to talk to, and I thought, well, maybe I can bend your ear. None of it's important. But I was sitting there thinking, and I thought, boy, that left shoulder of mine was talking to me. Ugh. And it just doesn't get any darn better. And it's got this weird sweet spot where it doesn't want to go anymore, that kind of stuff. So I went down to my friend, a chiropractor. His name is Dr. George Massey here in town. And he and the lady, Sandra Jones, who's a more of a holistic person. She does acupuncture. She does a lot of different stuff. She's really good with a needle. Oh, boy. When she gets that needle going on, it feels like they're floating. But anyway, the point is that I asked him, I said, hey, look, I know that according to allopathic model, there is no technically any real thing that doctors can do for arthritis. He said, well, here's the truth. Most of the time, pain associated with arthritis is not due directly to the arthritis. It has to do with inflammation in the muscles in the surrounding area and the tendons and things like that. So anyway, this guy started doing like this super deep massage with this really great little wah, 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 vibrator thing on my back, and it was just like, oh, this is great. And going up and down my spine and stuff, and I just thought, oh boy, I missed this. I haven't been into a chiropractor in quite a while, but I sure like it. So anyhow, he found these hot spots. I guess the scapula, is that the big kind of triangle shaped bone right behind? If you get X-ray vision right through here, mixed up on your shoulder. I think the scapula. I'm not sure. Anyway, areas all around that sucker. He kept finding these hot spots. How does this feel? Oh, how does this one feel? That one don't feel nothing. So he found these hot spots and kind of desensitized them by pressure. And then this vibrator thing is just like, I walked out there just feeling like, man, this is golden. So I might have to go back again. I don't know. But I thought, sure as heck, I'm not going to go down to a regular doc and ask what he could do. And so I thought, nah, not this gringo. So today was a short day. We just did a little bit of what we could at that big weird remodel, and we're stalled. We can't go any further. And so I just did what we could do. And so I made a short day of it. I was kind of out of there by maybe 1 o'clock. I mean, out of the office. And I said, yeah, I can go do a couple of things. So I'm glad I went to the chiropractor. George Massey, you got a good touch. And so I really like this idea of a kind of a deep kind of massage and stuff. And it was news to me. I didn't know, according to him at least, he said, that most of the arthritis pain that people complain of is not actually caused by the arthritis. It's inflammation in the tissues directly surrounding that joint. And they're kind of ganging up trying to protect the joint. But guess what? As soon as they tense up, they just made it worse. And your muscles don't know any better. And so you can personally relax them. I guess if I had a masseuse or someone who could do real good deep massage on that shoulder, we could do that. But anyway, he said I may have to come back several other times. He says these hot button things sometimes have to be kind of deprogrammed several times in a row. Might take several weeks, but that sounds a lot better because every other time I've been to a chiropractor, here's what they go, well, we're going to need you to come in 2 weeks at a time. I mean, twice a week, sorry. Twice a week for like the next 6 months. It's like, get out of here. And it's like, you guys are just making boat payments, man. In other words, the reason I came in here was to deal with the pain. You dealt with the pain, thanks, bye. And so I'm not going to sign up for some 6-month project where I got to miss work twice a week and all that stuff. Forget it. So anyway, I was just sitting there thinking today in terms of what we're doing and where we're going, how things are looking out there. Go and watch Richard Vobes. I like the guy. He's got some thing about electricity and water and magnetism, and it's about an hour long plus. But he's talking to these guys, and they sound a little bit like, are they quacks? Are they quacks? No, I think they have something to say. And it's that kind of stuff I really do enjoy listening to, because it's counter to the official narrative. It's counter to the professionals, the experts, and still it's science, and they have good reviews where they're allowed to be heard. But this whole thing is suppressed. I mean, this idea of holistic medicine or alternative medicine, as it was deemed to be by the FDA, And it's just like, the FDA right now is being announcing to the world through some of their top people, we're getting rules coming down the pike here that even we feel a little squishy about. This sounds unconstitutional. This sounds like somebody's going way too far. And so tyrannical powers are already brewing. The so-called Constitution, yeah, well, it was a nice memory. But the reality is these new tyrants of power, they care nothing for the U.S. Constitution or any interpretation thereof, except that one which favors their position, naturally. And so it's like, so we've got a lot to pray about, a lot to think about, and but by golly, sometimes just that darn shoulder has been yelling at me for weeks now, and first time it just kind of feels like it lifted off. It's like, boy, chiropractic practice, I like it, and because it's kind of like, well, yeah, we can do it right now, and you can tell the difference. Did it work or did it not work? And but you go to the other doctors, they're going to dose you up on meds, and when those don't work, they'll just give you stronger meds, and when those don't work, they'll give you meds that don't make you seasick because all the meds you're taking. Don't go there. Don't start that trip. Your body never really is in distress due to a lack of man-made pharmaceuticals. That's not your problem. Never has been. And I think his name was Scott, Robert Scott. Anyway, I haven't heard him in a while. He used to be on AM radio, but I stole that from him. That's not original with me. So, just on a big Monday afternoon before the sun goes down, thinking about maybe looking at the sunset later. That might work. But I just kind of wanted to relax and just watch a video and just make this comment. When people who have pains in their bodies, and I mean, and they know they're real, and they say, well, I went to a curandera, I went to a Reiki person, I went to a massage lady, I went to a chiropractic or an osteopath or a homeopathic practitioner, and guess what? I got results and they're good. There's no reason those testimonies should be discounted, unless you want to discount them because you got an agenda. But people do get help out of the medicine. Let's face it, the so-called allopathic model, it's the new kid on the block. It's only been around a little over 100 years, okay? These other forms of medicine, and we're not even going to talk about Vedic medicine because those guys can do some weird stuff. Not to mention the acupuncture and junk that comes out of China. Come on. And so the West has no corner on medicine per se, but they've somehow tried to corner the market as a business model. That's what I got out of this tape from Richard today, and I thought that was very helpful. What they're doing is they're running a business model that helps keep you sick as long as they can, because let's face it, that's where the money is. If you're feeling bad, you're going to go to them, right? And are they going to solve it? No, they're just going to postpone it. Why? Got boat payments. And you got to consider who benefits by this. Do I keep going back over and over again? Who's winning here, me or him? But when you're looking at a more holistic model, then you can tell right up, straight up. I mean, he was pushing hard on them muscles, or right in those. It was like these radial hot spots or something. I didn't even know they were there, but he'd hit one. It was like, oh, it's a hot button, baby. Ugh, where's it going? I was like, oh, it's going right to my shoulder. But some of them didn't. Some went into the bone below. It's just like, ugh. But and then I just tell myself, relax your muscles, all of them, and then that whole thing would go away. Suddenly it wasn't a hot spot anymore. So it was a very nice physical hands-on therapy. The doctor, I think, is competent, and I love talking to him. He's a very intelligent dude. It's hard for me to guess this guy's age, but he, looking at him, I'm going to say, well, maybe he's my age at least. I mean, I don't know. But there's some people, it's kind of funny, when you meet them, you can't age them. Especially, you'll see this in women lots of times. You meet a lady. Is she 40? I don't know. Is she 36? I don't know. Is she 28? Is that possible? Is she 44? And sometimes you can't nail it down. And maybe it has to do with makeup and stuff. I don't really know. But the difference in old people isn't makeup. The difference in old people is there still a light in the eyes? Do they still spark to your comments? Do they see the humor of it? In other words, can they follow a conversation? Are they on page? Are they here right now? And this guy is, boy, he's straight up. He's solid, good dude. And he's been around a long time, and I apparently has an excellent touch. So, I'm just going to give a big shout out to him. And by the way, I didn't mention to him that I was going to do a video about him on the way out the door. So I will let him know if he wants to, look in and give it a thumbs down. I wasn't there. I tell you, I've been framed. But no. When you're thinking about hurting and your body's aching and stuff like that, I mean, nobody wants that. But in terms of warming up and relaxing those areas and getting it really what it takes to kind of get motion again, might take a little help. So don't be afraid to talk to your massage friend. Don't be afraid to talk to your chiropractic doctor. Don't be afraid to talk to people who are willing to try other ideas beside the so-called expert advice. Because we know what the expert advice is buying right now. That bent needle is harvesting bodies. People are dying around the world, and they know it. No comment from their side. They want to blame me because I know something's wrong. Well, might silence me, might not. But here's the deal. You will be found out, and you will be prosecuted to the hilt, and you will pay. Murder is not cheap, and the Lord Yahweh is jealous over his children. Beware, you don't want to cross him. That's all I got to say. Have a good day and be blessed on a Monday. Fly high.